Hey folks, I wanted to do a video before I get ready for work here. I figured I'd do this gun that I haven't really seen any reviews on or anything. This is a Dan Wesson Model 15 357 Magnum. I'm not sure if it's a Model 15. I think there might be some dash ones or whatever like that. I'm not sure. I've had this gun quite a while. This is actually the first revolver, first handgun I ever owned. My father bought this for me as a gift. Probably when I was 18 or 19, probably in hopes I'd get my, trying to force me to get my pistol permit, get me motivated to spend the money to do it. And he actually got this gun off a fellow corrections officer he worked with that I think the guy was getting divorced and needed money or something like that. So my dad jumped on the deal to purchase this gun. I think, from as best as I can tell from this literature, I think there's a date on here that says 381, so I'm assuming this gun is probably about that same time frame. As you can see, I pulled out all the stops for this video here. I emptied out all the crap I got in my gun cabinet to show this video with the original literature and stuff that comes with this gun that came with it and all in this box. Literature shows you all the options of barrel you used to be able to get and stuff with this gun. This is for those people who don't know, you could well, here's the model numbers in here. Okay, now I'm not going to go through in the video and find out which one this is, but it's a vent rib target revolver, I think. So probably looking at this V-V2. I kind of lost my train of thought here. This gun is one of the only revolvers, I think, that you could interchange barrels by yourself with if you bought the version with the extra barrels and with the gun, or you could buy them separately with the kits. They're really hard to come by nowadays. I believe this one is the probably this one right here. The 6-inch semi underlug 3-hole vent. But as you can see, it came with two different sight blades. I got the white one in there. There's the red one. It comes with this 6,000th feeler gauge that you would set your gap between the barrel and the cylinder with. It's actually a little tight right now. I'll get into that in a minute. This is the tool to adjust the sights, change your barrels. It's pretty interesting how it works. There's this outer part you see is just a sleeve, and if you look at the end here, it's gonna be kind of hard to see with the lighting. I pulled out all the stops. I got my daughter's reading lamp down here and everything. There's a little ring nut that this end of the tool fits into. As you can see, the little prongs there. And you just unscrew that ring nut. I believe it's threaded into the sleeve and onto the outer part of the barrel. And once you get that ring out, this sleeve just slides off, and then by hand you can unturn the barrel from the frame, and it comes out, and then you can just install and whatever other one you want and set your cylinder gap here properly with this gauge. I've had this gun for a long time, like I said. I've shot the living hell out of the gun, and it's amazingly accurate. It has a great sight picture. As you can see, it's an awesome target style setup there. I actually painted around the notch with the flat white model car paint to make it come up a little more, which actually kind of takes away a little bit of the target usability sense of the sight, but it's a little better for, like, game and picking up quick. It never really hurt me. This gun is super accurate. Got a Packmeyer grip installed instead of the original wooden grip. I still have that grip. It's in my gun cabinet somewhere. So you can see it's got its cylinder latches here rather than back here. This is a stronger setup. This gun was really designed for extra strength. Like, if you see how thick the top strap is, it's much stronger than Smith & Wesson. It's not maybe quite as heavy as a Ruger, but it's a heavy gun. It also has a medium-sized cylinder. Now, this gun was touted back in the day. It's already been safety checked and everything. You can see for its speed of double action fire and you can see here, like you can just, I don't like to do that with it, you know, I don't actually shoot, but you can really rip through the, you know, the cylinders. You can get that to fire fast. Well, it's kind of, you're never actually going to do that, you know, it's because the gun is pretty powerful. But it is a fast gun. Now, like I said, I've shot this thing to death. Well, literally, I had to send this back to Dan Wesson, CZ USA. Yeah, I think it's in Connecticut, but because it came out of time. As you can see, there's like, I don't know if this is relative to it, but there is a little bit of wear on the indexing notches there. It's really not, it's not bad, but you can see it's there. It doesn't really affect the shooting now, but I shot this thing so much when I was younger that it actually came out of time, and I began to get like a lot of inaccuracy, and then I was getting spattering coming, like some lead shavings coming out the side of the cylinder gap, and I was like, wow, this is kind of dangerous. There's something going on here. And I realized I was getting a lot of play here, in like sometimes when you would pull the trigger, it wouldn't. I started working the gun without actually firing it, and I would notice that sometimes it would just barely not lock in. So I set it back, and long story short, they were really great. They sprung the whole gun, put new springs and everything in it, and some internals. And since then, it's been great. I actually haven't shot it a lot since I did that, but it's basically, this is a brand new gun for all intents and purposes. But man, this thing would shoot. It especially likes your Remington, this old style, just, you know, stuff they had back in the day. 125 grain semi-jacketed, you know, lead hollow points here. Shoots great with those. They're nice and fast. I've shot 158 grain stuff through this, and I didn't like it. It had a lot of vertical up and down straining. That 158 grain stuff is just not fast enough for my liking. This stuff shoots way flatter, and it brings a lot of energy on target, and you don't have that vertical arcing. Like you move back, and all of a sudden you can actually see the heavier bullet making a higher and higher arc. This stuff shoots flat, like, you know, you just move back and your point of impact doesn't really change much. So that's what I like to shoot out of this thing. Back to the strength of the gun. Let me try to do this one-handed. Drop the gate and open it up. As you can see, this gun is made here so that the rounds sit inside the cylinder. Into this, the lip of the round is seated inside that ring, and that's an older style of manufacture. It's like actually the strongest style of cylinder design. I believe I think the early Colt Pythons were like this, and I think they might have changed it when the Elite versions came around. I'm not really 100% on that fact though, so don't really quote me. But yeah, like your new Smith & Wessons and stuff don't have that. I know my 686 doesn't. It's just a flat cylinder. The rim of the cartridge is actually exposed. You can see it when you look here through this gap. But yeah, it's a good gun, man. I don't have any different barrels to interchange with this. I wish I did, but man, they're so hard to come by, and they're so expensive that I just don't bother, you know. I would love to have a 4-inch full underlug set up for it. That'd be great. I carry it in this Bianchi made in Mexico holster. It's just, you know, nothing special about it. What it is, you know, it's different. This is actually kind of came out around the same time as the 686, I think. Kind of take away some of the Colt Python market. And to tell you the truth, this is actually a Colt Python holster. They don't offer one for the Dan Wesson specifically, but it's listed as fitting. So with this gun originally came, it was really big in the target shooting crowd and steel silhouette crowd as well. There's a bigger version of this gun. It's a 44 Magnum, which has the same changeable barrel, and actually I think it's got a ports up here in the muzzle. This was a big target gun. Not as smooth as the Smith, not as smooth as the Python in action wise, but it was a really good gun. I've shot this thing offhand out to like 80 yards and held really nice tight groups with it, like under 8 inches probably using a tree as like a side rest or something. I could hold like an 8-inch group easily, a paper plate at 80 yards easily. But it's a really good gun, man, and they're not really that expensive. I think you can still get these on Gunbroker and stuff fairly cheap. So it's kind of an interesting gun, kind of a no frills heavy duty Magnum with a changeable barrel cork. It's pretty cool. My first revolver, my first handgun actually. It's in really nice shape too. I like to I don't shoot it very much. I should get out and shoot it more actually, but I've been more into like semi-auto self-defense shooting lately rather than just target reloading and high power kind of bullseye type stuff. Well, there you have it. Thanks folks. Later.